We got Haze Oil's first place motherfucking winner
Let's go.
of the Haze Cup in the hemp category. Hell yes. And you know what that's like. Let's fucking make it happen. What up, my brother? How you doing today?
Yo, what's good?
What's good, man? So it was a long little recovery, maybe. There's a picture of the beautiful Haze Cup.
Yeah, buddy, look at this bad boy. I mean, and I gotta say, like, it just feels so good in the hand. You know, it really does. Yeah. It's just got this feel to it. I mean, Jerome Baker put this together, and I mean, he's done such an amazing job on it.
Did you get to meet JBD for a second? I know he was up there just for a moment, but did you?
No, I just briefly. Yeah.
What a wild dude, right? You could just tell the aura on that motherfucker's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to like spoil anything. So let's have you essentially talk about, starting to hear about the cup and things like that, and just kind of go through the little adventure for a second.
Well, I think that is it, right? It's an adventure, right? Luke's first time going to Vegas, and what a crazy weekend it was.
First time ever, too.
First time ever. Yeah, first time ever. And so just, if you've ever, I don't know, Vegas itself is just an absolute playground, right? Like just seeing that place.
You were actually surprised that it was more, I don't want to say the word shocking, but let's say overwhelming than you thought it was going to be, in a sense. Like you didn't know it was going to be so crazy, right?
Yeah, I just, in the hotel, like I ended up staying at, the Mirage. Stayed at the Mirage.
School.
And,
old school.
Yeah, I mean, checking in, they've got an aquarium behind the lady who's, checking you in. It's like,
they got the Beatles. Don't they have the Beatles Love Cirque show? Mm-hmm. And they have like a cool gift shop and things like that in there, right?
Yeah. And just again, being around I used to be big into the gambling, not as much anymore, but just seeing the, I don't know how people play slots. Honestly, I don't know what the buzz is.
I think it's because you could slowly sit there, put a little bit of money, and then get lots of free drinks. Because most of the time when you're in the casino, when the waitresses walk around, the alcohol is free if you're gambling. So that's a cheap way to waste time, gamble, get a little drunk, right? And waste a few hours, and you're not spending thousands of bucks. You can sit there on the 25 cent, or I think it used to have like 5 cent, 10 cents. People come in with rolls of change. For real, bro. Like all the old ladies.
Hear them coming in. All day. Hear them as soon as they come in the door, like clink, clink, clink. Yeah.
So I tell you about this cup. I explained to you we're gonna have a competition. All these different cannabis brands and stuff like that. You decide like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna throw stuff into not only the hemp category, but also just try for the hell of it to compete in the
we were sneaky. Category. Yeah, that was funny. I got it. Look, we got third place. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that's an honor, right? In a cannabis cup for a hemp product to be winning, sure. I think is not winning, but
Absolutely.
At least coming third says a lot. And I mean, it was an adventure in itself, right? So I of course had never been to really any cups, and this one, let's talk about this. You really haven't been immersed in cannabis subculture, which is, I think, something that you were interested in learning more about. Mm-hmm. Different perspectives, business, people, patients, young generations of people, what they're into. Like, you got to cruise in, right? Go to a cool event, and then go to the Cannabis Awards. Which was a fun adventure in itself for you. Yes, it was. And I mean, just first things first. I didn't know.
You get to your hotel. You come in early, right? You come in early.
So I flew in early.
Let's walk it through.
Yeah, well, first things first, you should always plan your trip to Vegas and don't do it last minute when Conor McGregor's fighting, because, I showed up at the airport, boom, got my flight tickets, I got the car, and then it was like, okay, hotels. And I mean, you've got like, for someone like me, I'm just like, Andrew, where are you staying? Okay, I'll stay. Oh no, your hotel's sold out. And then all of them were, all these extra, just like, which one to choose? Do you want the spa? You want like, it took me, I was in the airport at the rental car place for, I'd say, an hour, like just checking, oh, this dealer, that dealer. Oh, look at this one. This is a 5-star. Oh no, that one's off the strip. All of this stuff. So it took me a while. And then by the time I got there, I mean, I brought a lot of stuff. It was heavy because of, I brought lots of gummies for the gift bags and everything. So I'm pulling all this stuff around. It's like 115 out. It's like 12 o'clock at night. And I'm doing my best.
What stuff did you do? You gave gummies,
blondes. We entered the Platinum Owls into it as in the hemp category, and that's what we won first place in. But that is a full. Let's talk a little bit about each product, and especially the one that won. Sure.
Let's talk into more detail what that was.
Yeah. So, there's this, there's sort of this little, sort of frowning down on Delta 8 as that happens, and even hemp, right? Especially from the cannabis boys. So, you can talk a lot about botanical terpenes, not the real thing, blah, blah, blah. But when you actually take the terpenes from the actual marijuana plant, high THC plants that have been growing for decades and, hundreds of years, and those terpene profiles have been dialed in, and now you put them back in to, a Delta 8, well, now you've got the exact same thing as a Delta 9 distillate with cannabis-derived terps, apart from its Delta 8. And so the flavor experience on that is just out of this world. And then you also get that entourage effect that, man can do his best job to get, botanical terpenes to be 99% of the way there, but it just ain't happening for to be 100% like nature. So when you taste this, I mean, I know it's like, you're tasting the plant, and it tastes amazing, as everyone else thought too, right? So, it is. So basically, we are also, the reason why I love Southern Oregon so much is because we've got the best growing climate in the world for cannabis. I know people will say, oh, it's California. In my opinion, it's the Emerald Crown, right? That Northern California tipped up to Grants Pass. And there's just some fire quality buds being grown there. And if people who grow fire bud, and you can get those terps, whether it's steam distilled, CO2 is better, keep those temps low. You just get the fire. And so that's what we have. That's
great. That's awesome.
It's actually, I actually have a little bit of my Blue Dream here that I've just been chugging away at.
And what are the different flavors that you do have aside from the first place award winner?
So we have, our winner was the Lemon Crack. We have the Blue Dream. We have the Amnesia Cookies, and we have a Purple Hindu Kush, and then our Sour Diesel. But the Sour Diesel's all out. That just went like.
It's like your most popular one. Are you gonna bring this Sour Diesel back?
Well, look, this is the thing. We'll bring it back again, but it's not going to be the same terps, right? That's the thing. Once they're done, they're done. Because you can never. That's the beauty of the Platinum Owls.
Isn't our Sour Diesel sort of a similarity most of the time? I mean, there's certain Blue Dream.
Yeah, but it's not going to. I mean, look, I'd tell you, is it Blue Dream that's grown indoor by a master grower versus, someone who grows, outdoor bud for their first year. And you extract those terps, is the same.
And which ones are you getting from?
We just use the highest quality, whether it's like greenhouse. We use outdoor as well, especially in Oregon, where we're blessed with the weather, like really, really blessed with the weather. And there's been people who've been growing the same genetics for like 50 years out here, especially in the Williams area. Yeah, they're just. I'm delighted. I'm delighted that I'm honored that we were able to enter the Haze Cup, have that experience, and I think, Andrew, we should talk a little bit about the fact that all of the food was dosed, and I must not have gotten the email about that, because I mean, we were eating a lot of food, and then I actually had set up the elixir bar. So the elixirs are unreleased. We've had our review team go over them, but basically it's our nano encapsulated Delta 8, which is water soluble, and we mix that in with our just some of the best ingredients you can ask for, from saffron to blue lotus to elderberry to cacao, and then we paired them with horchata, almond milk, organic coconut oil, and so we're pouring some drinks there. So I'm there, having the ball and having a few shots here and there with the people, 40 milligrams here, 40 milligrams there. I ate another. The guy who won the what was it? It was the chocolate bacon brownie.
Oh, Richie Mack.
So I asked him, that guy, I told him, I said, how many milligrams are in that? And he goes, oh, it's like 2.5. It was 50. So I mean,
there was 50 in the brownie. Did you have the brownie?
Yeah,
Did I give you the brownie? Or was it?
I had the brownie. I had the brownie. I'd say, and especially for me, I mean.
When did you have the brownie? Which day?
Was
it at the party?
It was at the party. I mean, you saw me at the party, like I was, and I was determined. I was really, I wanted to ditch out.
Now let's be honest. How good was that brownie with bacon? Was it the greatest thing ever?
Yeah, absolutely deserved first place. I mean, the thing was so tasty, and just the center with the little brown. I don't know, was there a caramel or something else in there with it? There's some sort of syrup, whether it's chocolate or something.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, well, yeah. Next time you can put the milligrams on that bad boy, because I know that. Yeah, so I ended up having.
What's funny is we put them on all of them, and I forgot to tell Richie to throw it on there. So yeah, those particular people are getting down.
Yeah, so I must have had anywhere from 300 to 500 milligrams, and for me, I'm not the D9 user, right? Like, I really like D8. I don't like, maybe if I eat edibles with D8 in them, I might eat 50. Maybe I'll eat 100, but like, me eating like 200-300 milligrams of D9, I was in a rough shape at the end. Not rough, just like my eyes are closing. I was determined. I cleaned up my area though, cleaned everything up, got it away. But it's that feeling when you look over the counter and there's just so much stuff on it, and you're just like, oh no, how am I going to deal with this? So overall though, I mean, the next day, the award ceremony was amazing. I had a lot of fun. There. And it just sort of met lots of people. And it was really nice to be surrounded by other cannabis enthusiasts and companies and people who really know what's up with formulating, where I was like talking about nano and everyone knew about nano. It wasn't like I didn't even need to go into too much detail. So it's really everyone knows about extractions. Everyone knows, and it was just really nice to have, like-minded people who have grinded for years and just know what's up.
Nice. That's dope. So you did the elixirs, but let's actually talk about the event itself, what it was like, what was going on.
Yeah, so when I got there, I mean, there's like 3 different rooms. You enter into the first room and there's all these tables, and the tables were all lined up in a row with all these like squash tables, basically, squash your, to make rosin, because there was a squash off competition. And then when you go further into that, then there was a dab bar. That's where I was stationed at. And basically anyone wanted to be dabbing, anyone who wanted to get served some of the elixirs, that was there. Then there was a DJ across the way. And then there was, what was the name? It was just the Adam Dunn show then was shooting live. And then there's a huge spiral staircase that goes upstairs. And there was 150 gift bags on there. So there was 150 judges. And that was for each category was judged by a group. So, you know, maybe it was like 20, 25 people per category. And I mean, the gift bags were class. You know, they were really good. I mean, you got a dab tray in them. You got blunts. You got there's so much stuff. There's dab tools. There was like what do you call them? The dabbers on the go. They're like electronic. So you just like, it's like putting a straw into your concentrates. Sure. Honey collector, I think is what they're called.
Yeah.
Honey collector.
But they also it's called the dip device.
Oh, the dip device. Yes.
Which is an automatic 5 temperature pen that lets you essentially get it that way.
Yeah. It was just great. Honestly, just good vibes all around. And you know what's nice as well? It's sort of like just forgetting about anything that was COVID and all these crazy restrictions. Like everyone was there just celebrating, having a good time and smoking some. I mean, that GMO, I mean, I had the oil one as well. I had that GMO from, what's the name of them? Trichome Tortoise, that GMO cookies. And I mean, that was the first one I tried, and I just smoked that. I was like,
let me ask you something, because you are kind of an oil, you know, you're definitely an oil connoisseur.
I mean, I know, yeah.
So it had a very garlic smell, didn't it? Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Strong.
Yeah.
I was surprised, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the GMO, I think, it's something like garlic something, an onion or something. I forget what the M stands for. But the nose on that and the 6-star hash is just like hard to beat that, you know, really hard to beat that. And I mean, I saw some others and I was just like, God, that was a tough one. There was like, I just picked that one up first, and I was just, the rest of them were just, I was just like, God, guys, you gotta really come up with something special here.
Well, actually, the stuff that was at the Dab Bar was one of the first place winners. That stuff was very good. I mean,
yeah, that was good.
You'd seen lots of people actually not being as honorable and like taking tons out of it, right? Then just fucking. I should have told you. I should have told you to control that at the bar, but I kind of forgot. And then some motherfucker stole a 1/4 pound of oil, actually. Which
some people are just like, I mean, it's just like,
isn't that messed up when you're getting a free event and get to go and
like, come on, like, you got so much free stuff given out. There's dabs everywhere, like free. The food, I mean, the food was gourmet, right? This was not like, you know, here's some paper trays and here's some, just like crack this open. Like there was chefs that were, I mean, the platters of the fruit, and I mean, there's these little meatball things. It was just killer. Absolutely killer. It was just a really, really well put together event. And funny, you know, it's funny going around at events and seeing other people you've seen on YouTube. You know, did that actually happen a lot for you? There's a few people, and I was like, oh, there's one guy, I don't know his name. You probably know him. He's the drummer. He's the drummer dude. He had like the big cat. He's sort of a bigger guy. Looks like he lots a lot. I don't know what his name was, but anyway, I went up to him and like, I know you from YouTube. What do you do?
There's a lot of Instagram people.
A lot of Instagram. Yeah, the Uncle Stoner guy.
There were tons of Instagram celebrities for sure.
Yeah, so it's cool. You know, just cool to see all of that.
And then there was a comedy.
What? Was there? I'm sorry, but I must have missed that.
There was actually stand-up comics from the Los Angeles Comedy Store in the other part while you were elixir.
Not for Luke. Yeah, not for Luke. Yeah. I didn't get the invite to that one.
It was going on the other part. That's with the whole like kind of stage thing. set up with 40 tons and all those chairs were.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? That makes sense now, because I was like, funny how they had all these chairs just staring at the Adam Dunn show.
That was Adam, and then Adam finished, and then the comedy routine went on.
That's funny. Yeah, totally missed that
comedians. One. But yeah, shout out to Adam Dunn.
Shout out to Adam Dunn.
Let's talk about that. They came all the way down from Colorado to and are part of Haze Radio Network, and they wanted to contribute and be a part of it. And then you got to jump on their show, which is always a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny because Adam Dunn has come up a few times for me from when I first got into D8. When I first got into D8, and I was sort of checking, is it legal? Is it not? Who's doing what, where? My lawyer at the time happened to know a friend of Adam's called Victor. And so I never actually got an opportunity to speak with Adam, but I think Victor was checking in with him. And then I came over to the West Coast, so my other friend happened to know him. And for whatever reason, I just never managed to. Everyone was always like, Adam's the man. And Adam has been growing, there's a lot of stuff with him, I think, growing something down, getting involved down in Colombia or something people were saying. And just seeming like he'd been there as one of the OGs and has been there for like a very long time. And it was good to finally meet him in the flesh, a gentleman.
Yeah, man. And definitely like you got to talking about, like you said, with 40 tons, like that's, like life sentence for marijuana. That's some wild shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think I was, people, I think I was seeing there's like 88,000, I think it was 88,000 cases were just,
tons of them are being
something
released,
like that.
But that's only on mild crimes, whatever. When you get these life ones, you get fucked.
Yeah.
And out of like 1,600 people that were pardoned by Trump, only 8 were for life sentences in cannabis. And Ivanka Trump was actually integral. And if it wasn't for her being, dad, blah, 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 literally to almost when he was about to jump onto the motherfucking helicopter, she got for being released. Super dope. They're helping lots of other people who've been imprisoned for life and been in prison for long periods for cannabis to have an ability to possibly get out. Yeah. And, I hope as more as it gets descheduled in the United States, we'll see many, many people taken out of prison for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. There should be some sort of, there should almost, I don't know, one of them maybe said, obviously these other groups are probably setting up foundations and everything like that, but something that, I don't know, I'd be open to like donating some of the profits to help people in need who are in jail for, right? It's sort of crazy that we're profiting for stuff that people actually went to jail for their whole lives.
That's what they do, is they actually help everybody get their marijuana conviction, stuff like that. So I know that those guys would definitely love to do maybe some special product where proceeds could go to that and it could be branded for that. So I know that Anthony mentioned to me he was going to hit you up because he definitely would think that would be great.
Yeah, I mean, we're all about it. We're all about it. And I mean, it's bonkers, right? We're literally like, we went to an event there that's, even 2 years ago, 1 year ago in Las Vegas, right? It could have been like, that's it. You're getting, the DEA showing up for like a marijuana event, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. And now it's just like, and that was one of the first cups, right? That's why we had to keep it a little.
Yeah, we did. And but it was good, and it was a great event, and you got to take 2 awards. How'd that feel when you went back to tell the team at Al's Oils?
Oh, we were.
What was that
delighted, like? Pumped. You know what though? You learn from your lessons. I wish it was such a memorable thing. I wish someone caught me when I was speaking. Because like we were talking about, right? It's like we're at the big monster marijuana awards, and each, best indica, best hybrid, you know, all of this like crowd's going wild. And then it's like, and the award for, and I knew it was coming, you know, the CBD. And I was coming up there and I said, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not that guy. I grabbed that, but they were like, is this guy, you know, sort of like, come take your award, and you know, come take your award, and like, you're not even going to get the microphone. I took that microphone right off him. I was like, it's not just CBD in here. We got Delta 8 cannabis-derived terpenes. Let's go, Las Vegas.
Yeah. Yes, you did. And the crowd went wild.
Oh, it was too funny. It was priceless, great. Man. It was priceless.
It was great. And you were just like, man, it was awesome.
Yeah, I was delighted. I was really delighted.
Like I said, it was kind of cool, right? Like, you haven't been to too many things where just being in a room with thousands of people that like fucking bud like that. It was an interesting, right?
Yeah, really good.
Even
really
the
good
next
to see.
The next night at the awards, right?
Yep.
And you got to meet Brett. Got to meet a lot of interesting people.
Yeah.
From Apothecary, the creator of the famous grape ape strain.
Oh, he's the man. Yeah, it's putting the name to the face. Yeah. Brett, I mean, I chatted to him. I really bonded with him. He was, I mean, it's just an absolute pleasure to talk to someone who, you know, has been in this industry for, probably like 40 years, you know, 50 years maybe.
Yeah, well, yeah, good 30.
30 years?
Yeah, good 30. Not that old. I'm not that old either. Old enough. I'm getting there.
A good 30 years, right? Where we're talking about, like, for me, especially coming from Ireland, right? It's like thinking about, like, back in the day of me even coming over here, seeing an indoor grow. Like, just my friends back home, the only grows they would have seen really were maybe when they flew over to see me. It'd just be such a rarity to have someone that's grown pot, and definitely not large scale. I mean, they're still flying around Ireland with, you know, infrared detectors to see if anything's grown in the attic. Really? So they fly over all the houses. Really? Yeah. Really? It's ridiculous.
Wow.
Can you believe that they actually have taxpayers' money to fly around helicopters to catch people growing marijuana?
Yeah, I mean,
or cannabis, I should say. What are your thoughts on this? Huh?
We've heard about that for years. Well,
what are your thoughts on the name?
Yeah, it is.
Some people got a little snooty with the marijuana word.
I think what it is you're trying to legitimize it. Marijuana always had that derogatory name, where cannabis has a more scientific name. And, you know,
so cannabis and hemp.
For many years, I've kind of gone through not even saying marijuana essentially, and always saying cannabis, because it is all the cannabinoids, and it is a more scientific name to put into people's head than the stigma of the name has a negative stigma to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose for me on the hemp side, it's like, it's just differentiating between the two. But I suppose you're right. You know, I just think cannabis sometimes, it's like, really hemp is cannabis, and realistically it's just differentiating, is it high THC cannabis or is it high CBD cannabis? So, but yeah, hemp and cannabis, I'll do my best to adhere to that, because I think you're right, you have a point. What about yourself? How did you get on?
How did I get into which part?
No, how did you get on at the Haze Cup? What were your thoughts?
You know what? I had a great time. It was nice seeing everybody. You know, there was a lot of running around, you know, and I think that in itself can be hectic, because you want to make sure everybody's having a good time. Everybody's, you know, getting their gift bags. You know, everybody's like enjoying themselves. So like, I didn't get to enjoy it as much.
Did you eat any of the food?
No, I didn't even get to. I actually had a little bit of pizza, a little bit of this, you know, but I was too involved with, you know, honestly, like everybody having a good time, making sure everybody was, you know, able to get there amongst like other people from the station. Everybody was, you know, contributing and everything. But like, I felt because it's also my hometown, you know, and like there's lots of people there, and they were friends of mine from, you know, from home. I got too immersed in just, I guess, everything that was going on, that I didn't even really get to eat or enjoy or really sit and watch the squash off. You know, I'd like to have done that. I listened to some of the comedians and stuff, but a lot of it was like also getting to catch up. I caught up with you. I caught up with certain people. Like I don't get to catch up that much with friends and people, you know, that came out specifically. So for me, you know, it was more about just getting to catch up with people. Like that's was the fun part about it, you know, and then giving out the awards next night.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was fun. Like, you know, getting to see what these things looked like. Uncle Stoner, you know, got him from JBD and he brought him for me to check him out. And I'm like, wow, that's, you know, really fucking cool. Yep. Yeah. You know?
And even just there on the inside.
And it's, the inside, how they do that.
Crazy.
Like when you look into the design and stuff, it's really dope, you know?
Yeah, because I mean, when you're looking at it there, you've got this sort of this design, and then you got and then
you got the braided like fucking.
But then inside, it's like
tribal,
it's crazy how it looks like.
Yes.
I know. Yeah. How did you get the thing on the inside and the outside? I don't know. It's just really makes you think. Makes you think a lot.
It's not something that could be easily reproduced.
No.
It's something unique, something one of a kind. And it really is a work of art, regardless. I mean, if you went into a fancy glass, you know, what glasses, they make like fucking ones, you could spend tons of money on that shit.
Yeah. Big time.
So I think that's what's interesting. And does it excite you more now about the industry?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just nice to be able to see that what we're doing is being reflected on the outside, I suppose, is the best way to put it. Because until we, you know, see other people, until I actually get to talk to other people, get feedback from people, right? But realistically, what are we getting? We're getting feedback from judges about our products. That's really what's happening. And they either say, yep, that one was fire, or no, that was no good. And so it just tells us that we're on the right track. And it really, really helps the team as well to see that we're making some moves. And this is just it. You know, we're just getting started. So I mean, trains left the station. You know, trains left the station, and we're ready to take over. Is really it in a very gradual fashion. It's just over time, just relentless, and just keep it going, and just seal our place in this industry. You know, I look at this as like, you know, I got the next at least 30 years of my prime, right, to really crush it during the second trimester of my life, I suppose. So I got the next 30 years in this industry, and I want to look back on this and say that, you know, we had some of the best products that were offered, and we grew this thing from, you know, a small business that was, you know, making less than $1 million, to, you know, a business that's doing, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars. So little bit by little bit. And I think Delta 8 has been this like boom curveball. Didn't see this coming out from anywhere.
Absolutely.
Just like took over. And I mean, it's changed the game big time. These conversions have changed the game. And I mean, I could understand from, you know, a recreational cannabis license holder would be pissed, right? Like it's like, wait a second, I did all of this stuff here, and these guys are just selling this. That's not fair. But now this is the thing I was having this conversation the other day. Some of these like D9 maximalists that like, you know, and specifically it is in the cannabis industry where it's like, it's either THCA or it's THC Delta 9. That's it. And it's like, okay, so if we're to look at this, it's like, this is Delta 9 here. And if we go to like the rest of the circle, like Delta 9 is like this small little quadrant, and we've got like over 150 other cannabinoids, and
sure,
hemp is going to look after that.
Absolutely.
So I think that hemp it's really beautiful now to be in this space where we have far more cannabinoids, and there's far more research being done on the hemp side than on the tea side. And I think the tea side, it's excellent. I mean, it definitely seems like it's more recreational for people. And I think that there's absolutely a big medical side to it. But really, the entourage effect comes from a lot of other cannabinoids. And for an everyday user, I mean, I don't really think it's realistic for people to be, smoking high potency oils daily, right? For a majority of people, unless it's over time and years. But like for the average user who wants to suddenly get their feet wet, they might try CBD. They go, oh, that did nothing for me. Next step up from that is Delta 8. And Delta 8 is just such a beautiful confluence of all of the benefits. It's like you get all the perks of CBD with all of the perks of Delta 9 without the negatives of Delta 9. Exactly. And you have this just clear, crisp, relaxing effect that clearly everybody, I mean, the only people who seem pissed about this is the Delta 9 licensees or maximalists is what I'll say. But for everyone else, I mean, everyone's delighted to be able to have something that they have easily access to. And I think overall, it's a much better choice than a lot of other options for if you happen to be in a state like Texas and you're looking at, again, even just from a legal side of things, you suddenly get caught going down into the hood or whatever it is. You've got a much higher chance of something going wrong, right? Maybe you don't know who you're meeting. Maybe you do. It's not going to necessarily be here, check our test results here, scan the QR code. It's like, there you go, bud. Thanks very much. See you later.
Yeah.
And you'll be lucky. Absolutely. And you'll be lucky if it didn't have pesticides. Let's put it like that, right? It's like you'd be lucky if it didn't have pesticides. Yeah. So
interesting.
I mean, everything that comes out of California, I mean, it's like, oh, we can't sell it in this state, so let's just fell off the back of a truck or whatever it is. Got ruined. And so I think Delta 8 and hemp has really just opened it up. And I mean, these conversions have resuscitated the hemp industry. Like you talk about, you got the 2 electric shockers come out and it's like, we got to do this. Here's Delta 8. Okay, great. Here's CBN. Okay, we're good. Let's go.
Sure.
So, yeah, I think, and the scale, I mean, the D9, the cannabis side of things, you're so limited. You're so limited with scale. I mean, it's just in terms of, okay, even look at Oregon, right? You can grow an acre. That's nothing. In the hemp side of things, like an acre is not very much. And that's up to what, 2,000 pounds.
Is that what it is? 2,000 pounds would be.
For outdoor, I mean, you're probably looking at around 1.5 per. Yeah, you're looking at around somewhere in 1,000 plants, an acre, and so you typically pull around maybe 1.5 off of that. So maybe anywhere from like 2,000 to 3,000 pounds per acre. And then, of course, you've got some people that grow like 4,000 an acre. But when you're talking about hemp, some people grow out like 100 acres, 20 acres, like it's nothing. Sure. And so, and then when you start talking about, okay, well, how do you process that? How do you dry all of that? How do you harvest all of that?
How do you dry all that?
Yeah. And these are things that just on the cannabis side, it's like, and believe me, I'm a pro cannabinoid advocate, right? I don't really differentiate between, like, for me, cannabis is cannabis, right? We can label it, we can call, and that's why I'm saying, like, I call one hemp and one marijuana, because, or I could call it weed, but I think weed is just, no, it doesn't. So anyway, for this show, we can call it cannabis being high THC and hemp being CBD, but overall, it's all just cannabis to me. You know, cannabis sativa L is typically what they're calling hemp, right, under the legal definition. And then cannabis, I believe, is cannabis is Delta 9. But I'm an advocate for all cannabinoids, and I think it's actually the ratios that are really going to play out over time. And I think it's the ratios paired with the terpenes that are really going to turn into, boom, this one here is going to make you super awake, and this one here is going to make you go asleep. And yeah, I think that's really the way forward, really, is these new formulations and blends of all different cannabinoids, like our tinctures.
So give an example.
Yeah, so I mean, for our lullaby owl, which is for sleep, we have CBN. You know, before the hemp industry, CBN was not something that was, you know, yes, we know it's degraded THC, but overall it would be something where maybe you see it in some old buds, but it wouldn't really be something you would see isolated to like 99%. So boom, now we have that. You got, you know, CBG, CBGA, the acidics. CBG just isn't really relevant in again, because everyone wants to grow cannabis, right? Delta 9, and it doesn't really make sense for a lot of, at least again, even from a dollar perspective, to grow anything but cannabis, because you get a much higher ticket for it than hemp. But what we're seeing nowadays, you know, not only with these new cannabinoids, is you're seeing indoor hemp is going for $200 an ounce. That's fire. You know, I'm gonna grow me some indoor hemp, right? Oh, you guys want to get like a license and you want to, you know, pay like $1 million and be in, you know, California or whatever. Cool. I think I'll just like sell to the whole United States instead, and have banking and, you know, have payment processing and shipping and advertising.
But that's happened more recently, like, because before you couldn't do any of this stuff with hemp or even Delta 8 or any derivatives, right? I mean,
hemp technically is being legalized. I mean, the banking has only really just come on in the last couple of years after the 2018 Farm Bill. But
and banks
I mean, there's this new
hesitant.
one.
You can't just go into any bank.
Sure, you got to work it. But Bank of America, I mean, it's been just wonderful to us. Shout out to Bank of America. I mean, we jumped through hoops for a lot of others, and Bank of America said, oh yeah, hemp, yeah, fine. Oh yeah, we read the 2018 Farm Bill and see that it's totally legal. And even for Delta 8, we told them exactly what we're doing. No problems. So
that's good.
Did you see there's this new bill, though, being introduced for marijuana, full marijuana legalization?
I've seen a little bit about it, but I didn't actually go into the details.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't read it either. I just saw that was something that's happening, at least. Seems about time, you know?
Yeah, I think it will make a big difference when that change happens. You know, that's for sure. Absolutely.
Where do you see this industry in 20 years? When 20 years time from now, what do you see globally?
I mean, you'll see it in cigarette packs, but with cannabis and hemp, and you won't even see cigarettes much anymore. I bet you only see hemp cigarettes and marijuana cigarettes of different strains, and they'll be in every 7-Eleven and every gas station in America, and you're fucking 18 or older or whatever. It'll be like just like going and buying alcohol. You know, I don't think they'll have them in like ounces. I think they'll be more in like small cans and air sealed and, you know, pre-rolls and stuff like that. And then you'll go to like specialty shops that'll have the actual flower and stuff. You know, I think there'll be lots of oil cartridges. I think there'll be all kinds of shit, you know?
Do you think the dispensaries stay?
I think it will change. It'll be more like clinical and having varieties and strains and things that aren't of the just normal out to people to be able to help certain characteristics and different things, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it'd probably they better let us mail it, right? Like.
Well, if it's legal,
Canada. Yeah, I mean, Canada allows it.
Canada.
Yeah, you could just mail it around the place. No big deal.
That's cool. That's dope.
Why wouldn't we? Like, like it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. What are your thoughts on psychedelics coming legal in Oregon? I think by this coming year, actually, January 22.
They're just passing it in Cali too.
Yeah, it's just gonna take over.
Something initiative.
Yeah, I think this is the next wakening up of consciousness, right? We got weed, you got cannabis.
There's a big yeah. No, it's the next wave. Big things about psychedelics. There's a massive wave on that. With the California bill, it's not just mushrooms. It was like ketamine, acid, MDMA. I mean, all these drugs.
I mean, ketamine is another huge one. Huge antidepressant. Huge. And I mean, anyone who knows ketamine, I mean, the first thing they're going to say is the horse tranquilizer. Like, no, this medicine that actually like really helps people. And whatever way it works, I mean, they're the same thing. They're actually setting up clinics where you can go and get a ketamine treatment. So I think there's this, and then you got the MAPS Society. Those guys are just phenomenal. They're doing everything with MDMA. It's the multi. What you're putting me on here now? It's the multi-applicate. What is it? MAPS something society. Let's see. MAPS psychedelic. Let's see. Come on, MAPS MDMA study. That should pull it up. Well, it's like the multidisciplinary. Okay, here we go. Come on. The Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies. Boom. And they're currently working on MDMA is the top one that they're currently working on. And I mean, they're just MAPS is undertaking a plan to make MDMA assisted therapy into a food and drug approved prescription treatment by 2023. Damn. That's unbelievable. Wow. Unbelievable. They've already done studies on MDMA assisted therapy for eating disorders, social anxiety in autistic kids, anxiety associated with life-threatening illnesses. I mean, these guys are the real deal. Actually, completely. I'm gonna butcher that one. Revolutionizing. Yeah,
revolutionizing. Yeah,
revolutionizing.
That's right.
Yeah, revolutionizing. Just these medicines, really. That these plant-based medicines that are. It's just honestly unbelievable when you start to look at like, okay, well, how many people have died from mushrooms? Like, not really that many at all. And what about LSD? Oh, zero. Okay.
Oh, I don't know. Is it zero?
Yeah, zero. You cannot.
Wow.
Al is like, look, I remember this DEA agent who went into there was a bus and they had like barrels of this stuff, like barrels. And if you think about LSD, like a crystal little thing of LSD is supposed to be like a gram of that. That's like 1 million doses or something crazy. Like, wow. So when you think about a barrel, but this guy ended up, this DEA agent got dosed with like being in the fumes. And you're talking like, I don't even know, but a ridiculous amount of you're talking about like tens of thousands of tabs. And he didn't die. He nearly died, actually. That would have been like a heart attack for that guy. But
damn.
Yeah.
Any shout outs to anybody? We're wrapping up the Owls show.
Wrapping it up right now. I mean, you know what? We're here to shout out Owls, right? Go to Owls TV. Check us out on YouTube. We want your subscriptions. We want the likes. You know, send them over there. Helps us out. And check out, if you ever want to buy any retail or wholesale, just go to the website, owlsoil.com. Got some of the best Delta 8 in the industry with the cup, Haze Cup winning lemon crack. Let's get it. Thank you for listening, folks.
Yeah, thank you. And this is another episode of Owl's Oils, and we will be back.